to part 2 of Test the Nation. And time to see how everyone at home and here in the studio got on with our test, which checks out your memories of 2004. Please welcome back your hosts, Anne Robinson and Philip Schofield.
They're very relieved now, and the moment has come, in fact, to see how well you've done, how good your memory of the year is, and also to find out how your score compares with the rest of the country, and with our very, very, very lively studio audience. I don't know who's come last yet. OK, no marks for the outfits from the fashion students, but I tell you, I have bagged those very sexy pink wellies.
They look lovely in them as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Yes, if you are at home sending us answers on your mobile phone or taking the test online, we'll be talking to the highest scorer later, and don't forget that lucky person will be winning our fantastic Shepherd's Hamper, which our market stall holders have been so busy selling. So let's just give a little thank you to the market traders for the sales pitch. And the shepherds for their generosity. From the information from everyone playing online or on the phone, we'll be able to tell you a bit more about which corner of the UK has done best and whether your shoe size says anything about how much you remember about the year. I'm not going to say much about men doing better than women because, of course, they always do on this show.
Don't be so sure. Waitresses, you're our only all-women group, no pressure. Totally relying on the waitresses. The girls have got to win this time. We'll also, of course, have our usual end-of-test scoreboard, and that is when you have the chance to match your score with the rest of the country.
And, of course, you'll also be able to see how your scores compare with our studio groups. Let's just see whether they're ready for the moment of truth. They may be able to ref a match, but we're in control of the test tonight. The referees! They could say they're too busy with their flock to take in anything about the year. Let's see about that. The Shepherds! Coming up with the look of the year is one thing, but what about everything else that's happened in 2004? Let's hear it for the fashion students. Selling policies is one thing, but are they all talk and no memory? The insurance brokers! Taking orders and giving us a nice smile. Let's have a look at the nice waitress smile. Let's have a look. This is how you're greeted when you walk in to meet our matrons. Yeah, lovely. They are the waitresses! And as we've seen, they've got the gift of the gab, but will that get them through the test of what they know about the whole of this year? It's our market traders.
OK, Piers, if you were a betting man, who would you put money on?
Oh, the
groups?
referees, I think. Wait a minute. But only because they never think they're wrong. And they're a bunch of know-alls, rather like someone else I could mention, actually.
Sophie, who are you putting your money on?
I'm going to go for the market traders.
Do you use a market, or are you a supermarket girl?
I was at the I was about to say Shepherd's Market, the farmer's market yesterday. Just there with my mum. They always say to me, oh, you're that girl off the news. So what do you think about? So I'm assuming they watch the news a lot.
Yeah. Well, they're home, aren't they? OK. Philip?
Let's see what our celebs think. Who are they going with? If you were a betting woman, Angela, where would your money be this evening?
Well, I'd like to put it on the Shepherds, because having been born in the West Country and lived on Dartmoor, where I was surrounded by sheep, I feel very much at home with them.
All right. James?
Oh, I'll go for the waitresses.
And they're very happy with that. Reggie?
I'm going with the market traders, man. It's all about the brand.
All right, Marcus, where's the smart money?
I'm backing the fashion students all the way. Not because I think they'll win, but they've got the longest odds, so...
Jenny.
Well, I'm gutted that there's no waiters, because I would have backed them, obviously. But market traders, I think.
All right, Raggy, you're a calm man under pressure now. This is a big decision to make. You're used to this. Where are you going?
It's got to be the Shepherds. So years getting my boots muddy and dusty, so I'll go with them.
Chef.
Yeah, well, I'd be tempted to go for the waitresses, but my wife's out the back, so I'm going to have to go for the referee. Someone's got to.
And Scarlett.
I'm with the fashion students. Yeah, all the way. They look so good. They got to do
choice for you, that one.
Well, Vicky being a fashion student.
Interesting, actually, that absolutely nobody has picked the insurance company. Annie.
Well, you can't feel sorry for insurance brokers, can you? Just before we get to the answers, a few more images of 2004.
Baby cakes, you just don't know how I like it down low. And I just want you to know that I think I love who will. We'll take it step by step because I'm not something cute.
How high's the water, mama? 5 feet high and rising. How high's the water, papa? She said it's 5 feet high and rising. Well, the rails are washed out north of town. We gotta head for higher ground. We can't come back till the water goes down. 5 feet high and rising. Well, it's 5 feet high and rising.
Since Gordon Brown became Prime Minister,
Hail to the chief! John Kerry!
Shut up, you silly old man.
Shut up.
Test the Nation's 2004 test. Now, first, we had some clips and asked you to guess in which month these events had taken place. Question 1. We started by showing you the opening ceremony for the Olympics in Athens. After that, Mark Thatcher, son of our former Prime Minister, arrested in connection with a plot to topple the government of Equatorial Guinea. Then Nadia winning Big Brother. And lastly, the floods that submerged Boscastle as storms caused 2 rivers to burst their banks. Yes, that all happened in August. So the answer to question 1 is D. Not sure about it in the studio at all. Question 2, in which month did these events happen? This is Iraq on the anniversary of the overthrow of Saddam and the aftermath of a mortar attack on US troops. The same month, the openly gay cleric Dr. Geoffrey John was appointed Dean of St Albans. Tony Blair announced a referendum on the European Constitution. And hitting the headlines, Posh and Bex and the couple's one-time PA, Rebecca Lewis. So the answer, who's cheering that? So the answer is B, April. Question 3, in which month did these events happen? Eminem was back at #1 in the charts with Lose It. Emotional scenes as the Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat was buried in Ramallah. The Scots announced a ban on smoking in all public places. And the National Lottery celebrated its 10th birthday. All that happened in November. So the answer is D. Question 4, in which month did these events happen? Millions took to the streets of Madrid to protest against terrorism. This followed the bomb attacks which killed 200 people. Russia's President Putin was re-elected for another 4 years. The Chancellor Gordon Brown delivered his annual budget. And Dee Dee the Whippet won Best in Show at Crufts. All that in March, so the answer is A. Market traders, how's it going for you? confident. On to the second part of the block and some headlines. Question 5. The day the music died. Who did this refer to? The answer is A, the sudden death of broadcaster Liverpudlian John Peel, for whom discovering and nurturing musical talent became a way of life. He joined Radio 1 at its launch in 1967, and, you know, from the start he was quite blunt in his view of the station.
You don't learn anything at all from listening to it for an entire week. And the music, of course, is basically, I think, pretty dismal.
Well, he learnt to live with the disappointment because he stuck it for nearly 40 years. Question 6. Is this the end for Men in Tights? Whose future was under threat? The answer is B, parliamentary ushers.
And you're dealing with...
In September, 5 pro-hunting protesters, including the son of the pop star Brian Ferry, burst into the Commons. They were tackled by guards, otherwise known as Men in Tights, because of their old-fashioned attire, all part of the parliamentary tradition. Piers, do you think that was a breach of security or a sort of prank, a rather fun prank?
There's no more childish than what normally goes on in there, was it?
Boy's good. Question 7. Ivan the Terrible, name the culprit. The answer is C, a hurricane. Yes, there are a total of 15 hurricanes and tropical storms across the Atlantic this year. Hurricane Ivan swept through the Caribbean. It caused enormous devastation before hitting Cuba and moving on through parts of America. Incidentally, the first hurricane in 2005 will be called Arlene, wherever she lands. Question 8. Woman of mass destruction. Who did this refer to? The answer is B, Claire Short. The former International Development Secretary, never one to keep her views to herself, said of Kofi Annan, the Secretary-General of the UN, that British spies were involved in bugging his office. Question 9. By George, what were we all encouraged to purchase? Yes, the answer B, St George flags. Sales of flags went mad as England took part in football's Euro 2004. Not the England team's finest hour. They lost to Portugal in the quarter-finals. Piers, how did we get to change from Union Jacks to the St George flag? Because it was a build-up, wasn't it? Before?
Oh, I think it's Jubilee, football, Tim Henman. And, of course, with the football and Tim Henman, it's like a tribal thing now. We all go and buy a flag. We watch them. They lose. We cry, and we use the flag to wipe our tears away.
Very good. And that, alas, is the end of the first section. How did it do for you, waitresses? not over-convincing waitresses, which isn't surprising, because they're actually in 6th place. Insurance, the unforgiving insurance brokers. Do you think you're doing incredibly well? Yeah. You're in 5th place.
Right, let's have a look at the rest of the leaderboard. We know 2 of our teams here in the studio, but what about everybody else? Here we go, first look at the leaderboard this evening. The fashion students, 55%. Down the bottom. A little disappointing there. There's plenty of time. Waitresses, 58%. We know about that one. Above them, we've got the insurance brokers on 66%. Right, what about the top 4 then? Now, let's have a look at this. The shepherds on 69%. Then we've got the market traders on 72%. Big difference. Look, 72 to 55 for the fashion students. This is a big gap above them. 74 for the referees, which means that at the moment in top place, it's the celebs. Oh, they're joint. Celebs are joint with the referees. So let's wander over and have a word with one of our referees over here. We've got Bob. He's a guy called Bob Brammer. Bob, at the end of this round, you'd got 6 out of 9 right. So doing pretty well. But the reason I wanted to come up and have a word with you is about your experience at the Olympics. You're a sports masseur.
I am, yes.
Yeah, and it rained.
It did. It rained very, very heavily.
Mm. And then?
And then that turned the entire Olympic Village into a giant Miss Wet T-shirt competition.
Was there any particular team that stuck out?
The Swedish ladies volleyball.
got your vote.
They got everybody's vote.
We've just heard, actually, that at the moment over 100,000 people have taken the test online or SMS, so thank you very much indeed. That's big this evening. Very good. Annie.
Anthony, as a professional cook, are you pro-hunting? You must be.
Am I what?
Are you pro-hunting? Shot
I am,
to
yeah.
pot?
I am pro-hunting. Well, when you've had 62 chickens killed by one fox, then you realise someone's got to go, and I don't want my chickens to go. I mean, at the end of the day, would you rather see foxes wandering around wounded because people are bad shots, or would you like to see it over in a flash?
And presumably, after February, your chickens are in even more danger, are they?
Yeah, they probably will be.
Okay.
I guess, anyway.
James, apart from rowing, are you a fan of any other sport?
Any other sport? Yeah, surfing, like football, rugby. I'm pretty much armchair sports fan.
Are you? You don't play football?
Only badly.
Oh, right. Well, I'm glad you do something badly. Reggie, you're looking very, very smart. I mean, your mother would be proud of you tonight.
Yes, she will.
Is that... You don't wear that... That's not very top of the popsy, is it?
It is, actually. I like to dress smart for Top of the Pops, but I always wear trainers. Today's like the third time this year I've worn shoes. I dressed up for you, Anna. I heard you've got a soft spot for me.
Cowboy boots?
Pardon me?
Cowboy boots.
Hell no. I can't do cowboy boots. No way, no way.
Why can't you do cowboy boots?
Because they're hard on the sole. I like trainers. I like an air bubble.
Right.
I like something soft.
And do you even go to posh dinners in trainers?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. Like I said, I dressed up for you, Anne. This is all for you.
Yeah, well, I'm terribly grateful. You like the elder woman, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I'm so pleased. Jenny, before we move on, I want to share a special fashion moment with you.
Oh, what? Oh, is that me in a poncho?
It is, I'm afraid.
I tried that poncho thing, but they're dead hard, aren't they, fashion students? Because you can't wear your coat over them. Your poncho's got to be your top layer, hasn't it? You've got a layer up underneath. I got it all wrong. I was freezing, and I got a whole thing in there. You can't get your things out your pockets. They're a nightmare. I tried it once.
They're not the most slimming things, are they, I find?
You cheeky beggar, Anne.
No! And things and people we said hello and goodbye to. Now, question 10. The Diana Memorial Fountain opened, closed and opened again. What's now banned there? The answer, A, paddling.
People of all ages going for a paddle in it, fulfilling the architect's ambition that it should be a memorial, a lively, inclusive memorial, not something that is stuffy, something that people just come and stare at.
Ho-ho, that might have been the plan, and people did enjoy it for a few days, but then it had to close because some visitors hurt themselves while paddling. A month later, it was reopened, but this time people were only allowed to stand or sit, not paddle, and now it's due to close again on safety grounds, and we don't actually know what instructions there'll be next. Question 11. Amateur detective Dreadlock was introduced where? The answer is C, in the children's comic Dandy. The New Look Dandy went on sale in October, a few weeks after a first edition from 1937 was auctioned for more than £20,000. For readers familiar with that original, along with Detective Dreadlock, we now have Troublemaker Jack, and as for Desperate Dan, he looks much the same, except his gun holster is empty. You see, he's now very, very PC. Insurance brokers, are we Dandy readers? Yes, you see, they are fluffy. Question 12. Where did the English National Opera perform for the first time? Let's show the clip this time with the audience and see whether you can work it out. Yes, the NO performed the last act of Wagner's The Valkyrie at Glastonbury. It's the... Yeah, well done. It's the first opera company to appear since the festival began more than 30 years ago. And you can see it attracted a big lunchtime audience. So the answer C. Question 13. What was handed over to Iyad Alawi in June? The answer is C, the Prime Ministership of Iraq. The handover of sovereignty from the coalition forces to the Iraqi interim government took place on the 28th of June. Alawi is running the country until official elections expected next month. The waitresses knew that. Question 14. Maria Sharapova was a surprise winner at Wimbledon. What did she try to do after her victory? Let's see.
Hold on, folks. The ceremony can wait a few minutes. I'm just going to... Let's hope she gets good reception. Got a pretty good reception on the court.
Can't get a
Yes, the 17-year-old Russian beat Serena Williams to take the women's singles. She held up the whole presentation ceremony, however, while she tried to ring her mother in America. And at the time, in fact, her mother was on a plane to New York, but her mother was actually also watching her daughter pick up the trophy on TV. So the answer is C. Question 15. The new Scottish Parliament building finally opened for business. How much did it end up costing? Well, it was meant to be 40 million, which is answer option A, but the right answer is the most expensive of these options. D. Incredible £431 million, 10 times the estimate, and it opened 3 years late. Question 16. What were those people looking at? The answer is C, Venus. On the 8th of June, Venus passed across the face of the sun. Now, the last time this happened was in 1882. The transit of Venus, as it's called, took 6 hours, and if you missed it, you'll only have to wait 8 years, not 122. The next section is about people and things we said goodbye to. So, question 17. Who forecast a happy retirement? Yes, the answer is B, the BBC's weatherman, Michael Fish. He retired having notched up 32 years of weather forecasting. Of course, in the end, his most famous prediction came, yes, in October 1987.
Earlier on today, apparently, a woman rang the BBC and said she heard that there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't.
I don't care what the weatherman says when the weatherman says it's raining.
Yes, he had a very particular dress sense, our Michael.
I'm certain the sun will shine.
Nobody ever advised me what to wear. Occasionally, I wear weather symbol knickers. I'm not going to tell you when I do that.
Sophie, Michael Fish, a friend of yours? You must have worked with him.
I have worked with him a lot. He's a lovely man. I will miss him a lot. He saved me once, actually. When I first arrived in London at the BBC party, there was a big BBC party. Every single famous face I'd ever seen in my life. You probably were there, Anne. I knew nobody at all. And I stood there. I'm on the verge of leaving because I thought, who am I going to talk to? Michael Fish. He adopted me for the evening.
That's very, very charming.
Very charming.
Yeah, very nice indeed. OK, question 18. Who got into trouble over faked photos? Oh, I wonder who. The answer is C, one Piers Morgan. I think we'll just remind him, shall we, that on May the 1st, the Mirror published front-page pictures, which it claimed show British soldiers abusing Iraqi prisoners. Immediately, doubts were raised about the authenticity of the images, but the editor was having none of it. Not at all, at least not to begin with. Eventually, this headline appeared. OK, so, Mr. Morgan.
Easy, Tiger.
I'm not going to be easy with you after that facelift, Jai. Would you like to say sorry?
No.
Why aren't you sorry?
What's that point now? I've been fired. What's the point in saying sorry?
Do you still think you were right?
I think it wasn't quite what it seemed, rather like your beautiful face.
You got a television career out of it anyway, didn't you?
I had, thank you.
Yes, so we're all grateful to have you on the screen. Question 19. The man known as the Great Communicator died. Who was he? Well, you might say it could have been any of the answer options. The columnist Bernard Levin, the broadcaster Alistair Cook, America's former President Ronald Reagan, the novelist Arthur Haley of Airport fame. They all passed away this year. But this description was used about Reagan, so the answer is C. The ex-US president died in June, aged 93, of course, a former Hollywood actor. He was a great one for snappy jokes. Watch this response, very clever, to his Democratic opponent during a TV debate.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Very good. Question 20. That racecourse has closed for redevelopment. Where is it? The answer is B, Ascot. Racing, hats and all the rest of the paraphernalia that accompany these annual events will be off at Ascot while it's turned into this state-of-the-art version. In case you're worried, of course, next year's royal meeting will take place at York. Question 21. Which MP announced he was resigning his seat, saying constituents' problems were tedious in the extreme? The answer is D, Tony Banks. The former sports minister and famous anti-hunting campaigner is to step down at the next election. Banks says representing West Ham has been intellectually numbing. How about that? He didn't say that when he was trying to get elected. Question 22. Who died having chosen for his epitaph, "Keep off the grass"? The answer was A, Peter Ustinov. Although his family failed to carry out that particular wish, a great raconteur, here he is talking to Parky about his ancestry.
Well, I suppose my father's father and my mother's mother were Russian. My mother's father was of French origin with an Italian mother, and my father's mother was Swiss with an Ethiopian mother. After that, I'm still finding out.
It's an extraordinary mix, isn't it?
I don't know, it seems quite normal to me.
Peter Ustinov. On to the last part of section 2. This is about some famous mistakes from 2004. Question 23. What got lost due to a bureaucratic error? The answer, E, Wales. It was left off a map on the cover of a new reference book about the European Union. All EU member states and the rest of Britain featured, but Wales disappeared into the Irish Sea. Now, the publishers say there are no plans to correct this for now. An apology slip will suffice, although I wouldn't be so sure about that. Question 24. Where was MP Boris Johnson sent to say sorry? Watch this.
Get your echo here. Boris comes to Town Echo.
Well, I'm apologising, obviously, for all the offence I've caused and for any hurt that people feel as a result of the article.
Boris was dispatched to Liverpool after a leader in The Spectator accused Liverpudlians of grieving unnecessarily. This was not one of Boris's greatest triumphs.
You're a self-centred, pompous twit. Get out of public life.
So, the answer is B. To be fair, you could also argue he was sent to Coventry by his party leader, who dismissed him from his job as Shadow Arts Minister. Piers, do you think Michael Howard overreacted?
Well, the trouble is that Boris is clever, funny and popular with the public, so obviously has no place in the Conservative Party, I think. No, it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, why fire him? You see what David Blunkett got away with? God.
Yeah.
I mean, Boris is a beginner.
And Sophie, Boris is in your age group, and he's always been...
He's actually in Piers's as well, but...
Yes, but it's just that Piers looks rather older than his age group, you see.
At least it's natural. At least it's natural.
Yes, but a shame.
I know.
OK, Sophie, do you think Boris has been talked of as a future leader? Do you think he is? I mean, he is very of his time.
He's certainly of his time. I think he's very popular. There's no doubt about that. And everybody knows him from things like Have I Got News for You, though, doesn't he?
And a great sense of humour.
Huge, yeah, very good.
Yeah. Fancy him?
Not personally, no.
Oh, OK. Question 25. Golfer Ian Poulter grabbed the headlines at this year's Open. How? Here's your answer.
It's called fashion. There you are. It's, I don't think many...
Poulter arrived for the first day of the Golf Championship in those trousers. They didn't bring him particular luck because he finished the tournament just 25th. So the answer is A. Fashion students. Do we like those trousers? No. Scarlett, do you like those trousers?
Well, they don't turn me on much, no, but each their own.
Yes, I don't know who they turn on, not me either. Question 26. Which pop star was refused entry to the US by the FBI 4 pop idols from the 60s to choose from. The answer A, Cat Stevens. The British singer converted to Islam in the 1970s. He now calls himself Yusuf Islam. He was sent back to London from the United States on national security grounds. I'll leave you to judge how dangerous he looks. He's performing here with Ronan Keating in a new version of his 70s song, Father and Son.
But it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. But take your time, think a lot, think of everything you've got, for you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not.
Doesn't sound very dangerous to me. And that's the end of the second block. Insurance brokers, confident now, are we? Yeah. Confident. Fashion students, what do we think? Doing well?
Oh, yeah.
Philip.
Let's have a look and see now the damage that's been done at the end of that particular round. Are the waitresses still at the... Oh, yes, they are. I'm so sorry, ladies. Still down the bottom, 52%. Above them, the fashion students on point between 53. Then we've got our market traders at 64%, followed by the insurance brokers at 65%. Then all the celebs, 65%. Now, what does this mean? Are they tied or are they above? Look at this! 70% for the referees and the shepherds! Joint first place, shepherds and referees. But it is actually to the bottom place that we go first of all, and our waitresses. We've already spoken to Lynn up here. Lynn, who, of course, you were the one that threw away the sauce. And you've got 12 out of 26 so far at this stage, 12 out of 26. And Emma, you've got 9 out of 26. But you did have a bit of a pants experience this year, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I was just finished work, busting for the toilet. Got into the toilets, zip won't undo. But, quick, what am I going to do? I was pick my daughter up in half an hour, run into Lynn, into the office. Lynn, give us a hand. She's tried it, can't do it. In come all the kitchen staff, the head chef, holding the trousers, can't do it. What the heck? Just ripped it.
Tore your trousers off?
Yeah.
In front of everyone?
Yeah.
What did you wear? To go and pick your daughter up?
Yes.
I wonder why they're bottom. Listen, let's leave it there. Annie.
Marcus, I was talking about Boris Johnson, and you actually performed at the Tory party conference this year.
Yeah, the Now Show team from Radio 4, we went and did all 3 of the conferences. It's quite weird going and doing them because, you know, the Labour ones take it very seriously and they worry that all the jokes are going to be about them. And the Lib Dems just pleased to see you. Do you know what I mean? They're just... Oh,
it's good anyone turns
Someone's
up.
come! Yeah, exactly. And the Tories, you know, we sort of went to take the piss and then you see their faces and you think, oh, you can't really. They're so pathetic. But Boris's jog after he lost his job was tremendous.
I thought he was wonderful. I love the Hawaiian
shorts. He came in, yeah, with so much bluster and it said, no comment, you should go jogging, and it was all going fantastically until someone had locked him out of his own house. And then just suddenly he crumpled into a little blonde boy.
Poor old Boris. We are on to the third section, some questions on entertainment and some quotes of the year. First, entertainment. Question 27. Which classic novel was turned into that Bollywood musical? In case you haven't got it, here's another clue.
Does this mean you're an ideal man?
I guess you'd be a better judge of that than me.
Well, I haven't as yet met one. As far as I can tell, most men have faults. Arrogance, pride, vanity.
He certainly read you like a book, Darcy.
The mention of Mr. Darcy means it has to be A, Pride and Prejudice. Question 28. Only one person sang the same line on the new Band Aid single and the original. Who was it? Here's your answer.
Well, tonight, thank God it's there.
Answer D, Bono. 20 years on, it's the Christmas #1 again. And you know, the record so far, it's raised $8 million for famine relief in Sudan, which included a large donation from a Scottish businessman. Raggy, you've just come back from the Sudan, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Do you think the money really gets to the right place?
I think it does, and you know, I remember 20 years ago, watching that original video, and I think most people's views was that it was just a matter of getting money and getting aid to people who were just starving, and I think opinions have moved on from then, and a whole generation has become politicised and hopefully will become much more aware as a result of the current single that it's about a lot more than just aid and just helping Africans to sort of, you know, get out of starvation. There's politics behind a lot of these tragedies, which is equally true of Darfur, which is where I've just been. And I think it's great. I mean, it's not about aid today, but I think it's about helping to make a new generation just aware of global issues.
They do need the money still.
They do, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 million people affected in Darfur, and the camps are just everywhere, and there's huge populations in them, so it is getting to the right people.
Well, let's hope even more records are sold. OK, question 29. BBC Two celebrated a special anniversary. Which one? BBC Two was launched on the 20th of April 1964, making it 40 years old, which means this year it's Ruby anniversary, so the answer is B. And it did have a rather unexpected birth.
A massive breakdown at Battersea Power Station brought chaos to the centre of the capital. But the biggest disappointment was at BBC Television Centre, where the curtain failed to go up on the opening night of a brand new channel, BBC Two.
We decided that we would not actually specifically refer to the disaster of the night before, but the first thing you would see would be this candle. And it would stay like that, flickering away, until the time came to start.
Good evening. This is BBC Two.
Angela, do you remember the opening of BBC Two?
Yes, I do, and in fact I spent many happy years making television programmes for BBC Two. The one that I had most fun doing was a very long-running series called In the Country, which I did with Phil Drabble and Gordon Benningfield and a whole gang, and we went all over the British countryside talking about country matters. It was great.
Yeah. Thank you. Question 30. That film was advertised as Same Bridget, brand new what? The answer C, diary. She also had a Mr. Darcy in her life and got a new frock for their reunion.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Very important at this moment. Doesn't matter, it's not about looks.
Claire Whittington had her own Bridget Jones moment, didn't you?
I did, yes.
What happened?
I worked at the Bridget Jones premiere, and I was kind of...
You're waitressing at the premiere,
yeah. And I was making my way through VIP, and I stood on someone's foot and I heard this, like, ow! And I looked up to apologise, and Hugh Grant was just stood there looking at me, and I was like, very sorry, sir, very professional, and kind of just walked off like...
How did he take it?
He was really nice, but I just walked off like, oh, God, you're so beautiful. And I was just like...
And I've trodden on you.
Yeah. So I was like...
And so, but that's the only similarity to Bridget Jones.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
no
not,
big
it's
knickers.
not true that you're wearing big pants tonight.
No! I told you that.
Ali.
So if you're Hugh Grant, you just have to be reasonably civil and the girls go, Question 31. Singer Joss Stone broke a UK record. Which one? The answer B, youngest woman with a #1 album. 17-year-old Joss topped the charts in October with Mind, Body and Soul. Here's a snatch.
Just leave me.
Question 32. Which event were those two training for? Here's another clue.
Unbelievable! We're going to play 5.
Yes, centre court at Wimbledon, so the answer C. Question 33. Who said, I feel I've let everyone down? Here's the answer.
But I just feel like I've let everyone else down.
Paula, you haven't let anybody down at all.
Nearly 11 million people watched Paula Radcliffe's Olympic marathon end in failure, but never mind. 3 months later, she returned to her old form and won the New York Marathon. So the James, do you think she let everyone down? Should she have kept going?
Did she let everyone down? No,
Yeah.
she didn't let everyone down. Should she have kept going? I think, not necessarily in the marathon, but the 10,000 metres, we went to the stadium to applaud her decision to be brave and run the 10,000 metres. And yeah, when we were clapping around every lap, it was disappointing when she stepped off, but only she can
You
answer.
don't think she should have stepped off?
I think only she can answer if she let herself down, but she doesn't owe us anything. But having gone there to watch a race, it would be nice to see her finish.
Oh, quite tough on each other, these athletes. OK. Question 34.
So he's going to offend her.
I'm going to send him an ice bucket with a note attached. Stick your head in it. A row over which high street store caused this outburst. The quote was allegedly made by entrepreneur Philip Green about Stuart Rose, Marks & Spencer's chief executive. Green's takeover and M&S was rejected, so the answer D, Marks & Spencer. Question 35. Today we have lost a man who was truly America's hero. Who was the American presidential candidate John Kerry talking about? The answer is C, the actor Christopher Reeve, who died in October. 10 years ago, Reeve was left paralysed after a riding accident, and he continued to fight to regain movement in his body. Question 36. My inner voice tells me I must humbly decline. Who gave this reason for turning down a job? Watch this.
I was always certain that if ever I found myself in the position that I am in today, I would follow my inner voice. Today, that voice tells me I must humbly decline this post.
Yes, the answer D, Sonia Gandhi, the Italian-born widow of Rajiv, won India's general election in May, but stunned her followers by refusing the premiership. Question 37. Rude, vile pigs. Elton John said of... You'll see here.
Rude, vile pig. You know what I mean? Rude, vile pig. That's what it means.
Yes, answer B. Reporters. Sir Elton launched a furious verbal attack on the press pack waiting for him in Taiwan. Question 38. Apart from Jordan, what else did Peter Andre get from his stay in the jungle? The answer is C, a hit single. Here's a snatch of Insania, which got to number 3 in the charts, and we start with the jungle version.
This is Insania.
Question 39. Who dumped her boyfriend after 43 years? The answer C, Barbie. In February, after a much publicised breakup with a long-suffering Ken, Barbie started dating Blaine, an Australian surfer. Who shall blame her? Question 40. Who was found to be a mother of 5? The answer is C, the Mona Lisa. Yes, new research out this year confirmed that the woman in Leonardo's painting was a family friend. Lisa Gherardini had 5 children, including 2 daughters, who became nuns. Question 41. Rumpole creator John Mortimer discovered he had an illegitimate son. Which actress is the mother? The answer is B, Wendy Craig. The 81-year-old playwright's additional child, Ross, was the result of a brief, if passionate, affair with Wendy more than 40 years ago. Question 42. Britney had 2 #1s and at least 2 weddings. How long did her first marriage last? The answer, B, 55 hours. Britney wed her childhood friend Jason Alexander on the 2nd of January in the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas. 2 days later, it was over. 8 months on, Britney married again. So far, so good. And indeed, that's the end of Block 3. So we're more than halfway through. How are we doing, referees? Yeah! The waitresses.
Right, let's see what's happened on our leaderboard now. Are the referees still high up there with the shepherds? Let's have a look. Oh, no change at the bottom for the waitresses. And above them, we've got the fashion students at 60. I can see a pattern emerging here. Then we've got the market traders on 65%. Oh, they're disappointed with that, yes. Above them, the insurance brokers on 66%, so they're 4th. And then we've got the celebs on 70%, which means that the Shepherds are on 71 with the referees still sharing the top spot. Now, the insurance brokers currently in 4th position. I wonder which of our insurance brokers would like to admit to this picture. Ah. Who's this with his fruit and veg out? Ah, you are?
Tom.
OK, Tom. And why would you do that, Tom?
It's all for charity, And it's for a children's hospice in Bristol.
And how much did you raise?
About 3,500.
Very good. We've got another one, actually. Who's this? Zoe! There you are, Zoe. Now, that's dangerous, isn't it? That was for the same calendar?
Same calendar, yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to light anything with those.
No, a bit
barbecuing.
dangerous.
Spitting fat would be a nightmare.
Would be.
Actually, funnily enough, it's been a record year for nakedness. Massive amount of naked calendars. And also, the world record was set for the amount of people who rode a roller coaster with no clothes on. And good gracious, look at that. Bits flying all over the place. Here's a shot of them coming towards you. Look out, here we go. Oh, good gracious. And if you notice, there's actually nobody standing underneath. Annie.
Very tasty, that. Paul Westlake.
Hello.
Oh, stand up.
Oh.
See, I don't think I recognise you with your clothes on.
Would you like me to take them off?
No, I don't think so. Did the Christmas box, did the sheep get it there?
Yeah, well, I've only got a little package, so you know.
What were you doing?
It was a calendar we've done since the year 2000, and we've raised money for different charities, and we have raised about £90,000.
Just to tell you before you sit down, you've got 26 out of 42 right so far. Well done.
Well, thank you very much.
Any celebs who've taken their clothes off? No? Piers? What are you laughing at?
I was laughing at who I know did, actually, but he's denying it.
Just get on with it, Piers.
Well, I was offered...
God, he's a nuisance.
You're not going to believe
nuisance.
this. You're not going to believe this. I was actually asked to be a Cosmo centrefold.
Naked? Yeah.
Naked, yes. And I decided the nation probably wasn't quite ready for that.
I think you're absolutely right.
However, somebody else, I believe, did step into the breach. Didn't you, Anthony?
I did, yes.
Let's have a look. What was that for?
Prostate cancer.
Yeah, well, thank goodness for the sausages. On to the 4th section and some winners and losers of the year. Question 43. How many consecutive Olympic goals has Matthew Pinsent now won? The answer, C, 4. And indeed, here he is, winning the 4th. James, were you nearly in tears there?
Not at that point. We had 3 days for our semi-final and our final, and
yeah.
I shed a few tears in the build-up to the race. And,
would you have been embarrassed if you'd been caught crying like that?
No, I wouldn't. No, not embarrassed. It's an emotional moment. I told Matt to stop crying, but he didn't listen.
OK. Question 44. Ricky Gervais won 2 Golden Globes and wrote a bestseller. What's the book called? The answer is B, Flanimals, and it's full of weird and wonderful creatures, and you might well find one in your Christmas stocking. Question 45. Which state clinched the re-election of President Bush? The answer is B, Ohio. Ohio gave the Republicans the votes they needed for victory, and it was a close-run thing between them. Bush and Kerry spent more than £20 billion fighting for control of that one state. Question 46. Which man in yellow was described as awesome The answer, yes, I can hear it round the room. The answer is C, Lance Armstrong. President Bush used the word to congratulate Armstrong on winning the Tour de France. The cyclist is the only person to have come first in the race 6 times in a row. And the reason, by the way, he was in yellow was to indicate he'd actually also won the previous leg of the race. Question 47. Team GB won 35 gold medals at the Paralympics. Only one country won more. Which was it? The answer is D, China. They won 141 medals overall, and 63 of them were gold. Question 48. Which of these towns was voted the worst in Britain? The answer is A, Luton. Poor old Luton. It was the result of a poll of 20,000 people across the country, part of the research for a book called Crap Towns 2. Catchy title, very poetic. #1 book came out last year and named Hull. Question 49. Which of these was destroyed in a fire? The answer is B, Tracy Emin's tent. It was among more than 100 artworks from Charles Saatchi's collection, lost in a warehouse blaze. The tent was called Everyone I Have Slept With from 1963 to 1995. Not just lovers, apparently, but of course so, according to Tracy, aborted fetuses and relatives she'd shared a bed with during her childhood. Question 50. Blue Peter was given a new title sequence, but lost what? The answer is C, Tortoise George, the Blue Peter tortoise. Thought to be 83, died of old age in May. He'd been a screen star for 22 years. Let's relive some of his finest moments.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy.
In 1988, George gave us all a scare when he went missing.
Now, you might remember that we told you on Monday how George had disappeared after a break-in at his keeper's home. Well, on Tuesday, he was found about half a mile away in a ditch near some woods.
Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do it and do-do, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy.
Which rock star lost jewellery worth £2 million in a burglary? The answer is C, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy said he was disappointed by the robbery. This kind of thing, he claimed, never happened to us in Los Angeles. Question 52. Who was accused of looting over £200 million? The answer A, Lord Black. The former proprietor of the Telegraph was said to have aggressively looted to fund his lifestyle, which included a jet, a £50,000 refurbished Rolls-Royce, and a birthday dinner for his wife, Barbara, a snip at £20,000. Now, questions on pop culture. Question 53. Strictly Come Dancing was a fantastic hit. Which celebrity won the first series? The answer is A, Natasha Kaplinsky, the BBC newsreader. Her partner was Brendan Cole, an expert in Latin American dance, among other things. Christmas special on Wednesday on BBC One. Perhaps Sophie and Piers would make a good dancing pair, particularly as Piers is good at absolutely everything. Question 54. That band won the Mercury Prize. Who are they? The answer is A, Franz Ferdinand. The prize is said to reward originality and creativity rather than number of records sold, though they haven't done badly on that front either, selling more than 2 million on their first album worldwide. Question 55. This film was a surprise international hit. It's called What of the Dead? The answer D, Shaun, and it was made in Britain. Here's another clip.
Purple Rain. No. Sign of the Times. Definitely not. The Batman soundtrack. Throw it. Okay. Oh, Dire Straits. Throw it.
Question 56. Jamelia won Best Single at the Mobos with their song. What's it called? Well, you've probably guessed the answer is B, Thank You. She actually won 3 Mobo Awards and had 3 songs in the top 10 this year. Question 57. What's the surname of the Incredibles family? The answer D, Parr. The Incredibles is the new hit animation. Its hero is the super strong Bob. Let's have a look at him in action.
Oh! He's gonna kiss you in the driveway. Oh, great.
Question 58. Which of these awards did Little Britain win in April? The answer A, a BAFTA. The hit series was voted Best Comedy at the BAFTAs, quite right, and the new, slightly censored series is now on BBC One. Here's another little bit. And that's the end of the 4th block. So, insurance brokers, are we doing well now? Don't think so. Philip.
Let's see whether they are. They were 4th the last time we looked at the leaderboard. Let's see where they are now. At the bottom, it's the waitresses at 58%. Then we've got the fashion students on 60%. Next, the market traders on 61%. Right, this is where it gets interesting now. We've got the insurance brokers 67%. Then we've got the shepherds, 70%. And the, referees on 70%. Well, the celebs. Let's have a look at the celebs. 72%. The celebrities have taken the lead. Never popular, it has to be said. Annie.
Thank you. Celebrities, very good. Sophie, you're one of the favourites for Dead Ringers, aren't you?
Yes, Jan Ravens. Actually, I've got to say, I thought I met you a few months ago because I met Jan Ravens at a party in the BBC. And I thought I was talking to you. She was dressed up as you. She does a very good impression.
Yeah, and she's much younger than me, Piers, actually.
Cute face joke, yeah.
Naturally, or...?
Oh, get on.
No,
Tell me, Sophie, when you watch her do you, have you discovered any mannerisms you didn't know you had?
I didn't know. I've apparently got a sideways smile. I do. Actually, I do now realise I smile to the side, and I go like that all the time.
Yeah,
and
indeed
so
you do.
I know I do, and I never knew it. And then when I saw Dead Ringers, I started trying to smile on the other side because I'm convinced I'm going to get sort of lines all down this side of the face, but it doesn't work.
Well, we can't resist showing you this.
You're watching the 6 o'clock news. The news for people who aren't too posh to push. Sensational new footage has come to light showing the moment Piers Morgan purchased those now infamous Iraq pictures.
I need to believe that these photographs are not fake. Give me one good reason why I should believe what you're telling me.
Because I'm Darren Brown. You want proof they're real? Fine. Stare into the photos. Stare deeply into the photos.
That's showing him. On to the last section of our test and some potluck questions and a final round with faces missing from the photos. So, question 59. Where did the public watch David Beckham sleeping for over an hour? The answer is B, the National Portrait Gallery. The artist Sam Taylor Wood created a 67-minute video of the football star snoozing after a training session. It was called simply David. Taylor Wood said, filming Beckham like this has produced a very different image from the one the public is used to. Waitresses, do we like Beckham?
Yes!
Oh, OK. Do we like Posh? Yes! Oh, gosh. Not quite so strong on that, yes. Question 60. What was found in the Thames estuary? The answer A, a tropical fish. A man caught a rainbow wrasse while fishing off the pier at Southend this summer. Normally, they're only found in the Mediterranean. Question 61. The government issued the booklet Preparing for emergencies. Its slogan is "Go in, stay in." What? You might well wonder which of these was right. The answer is, in fact, A. Tune in to radio or TV for more information. How many of you remember receiving this? Hardly anyone. You know, it cost £8 million to produce, and really it's just full of common sense. Question 62. Which Trevor was knighted in October? All the Trevors have actually been honoured, but the one who became a Sir this autumn was the legendary footballer, director and coach, now Sir Trevor Brooking, yes? So the answer is B. Question 63. What was frozen so that Tamara could be born 7 years later? The answer is A, her mother's ovaries. Wada Twirat was infertile following chemotherapy, but after ovarian tissue was re-implanted into her pelvis, she was conceived naturally. Question 64. The Tate Gallery exhibited recreation of the first public demonstration of auto-destructive art. What was it? The answer D, a bag of rubbish. The bag filled with discarded paper and cardboard was part of a work by Gustav Metzger, said to demonstrate the finite existence of art. It hit the headlines when it was mistaken for rubbish and was thrown out by a cleaner. But hey, guess what? The artist created a replacement, just like that. Question 65. Who was revealed to have had a passionate friendship with a duchess? The answer is D, Prince Philip. In a new book about the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, the former Tory MP Giles Brandreth said the Duchess of Abercorn admitted to this, but she emphasised that the passion was in ideas, nothing more physical. That's what she said. She claimed Prince Philip needed a playmate, and she was just that. Do we believe her, waitresses? Would we be happy for our man to have a playmate who wasn't us? Exactly. And the final 5 questions were to see who has been blanked out of these photos. Question 66. Who's getting angry with this photographer? Now, none of the answer options are fans of the paparazzi, but the picture is of C, Prince Harry. In October, he was involved in a scuffle with a photographer outside a London nightclub. Royal officials said Harry was hit in the face with a camera, but the photographer involved said the young prince had lashed out, leaving him with a cut lip. Question 67. Who's shaking hands with Tony Blair? The answer is C, Colonel Gaddafi. The Prime Minister made a controversial visit to Tripoli in March, and it was the first visit by a British Premier since Libya's independence in 1951. Question 68. Who's this causing Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction? The answer is D, Justin Timberlake. The incident occurred at the end of a performance at the Super Bowl. As their duet came to a close, Justin reached for the pop queen and accidentally tore part of her top, leaving her bearing almost all. And in fact, there were more than 500,000 complaints from viewers. Question 69. Who's kissing Joan Collins? The answer is B, Robert Kilroy Silk. In May, the actress announced her involvement with the UK Independence Party. She was enthusiastically welcomed at a photo call in Nottingham, but her support didn't last much longer than the photo opportunity. Sophie, do you remember? I seem to remember that she was posing with the Tories during Margaret Thatcher's time.
She was a great, she says she was a great Maggie fan. But
Yeah.
I think the thing with UKIP was she was the patron. She
Yeah.
was happy. Well, her name was put on the top of their headed paper, but she said that didn't mean that she supported them.
No.
So she was a bit confused.
But it was a good photo opportunity.
Certainly was a good photo
Not
opportunity.
bad for publicity. Piers, what about Robert Kilroy Silk? I mean, he started big in UKIP, didn't he? He's slightly
Yes.
gone off the picture now.
He's now become an independent member of the Independence Party.
Yeah.
Which means it's just him.
Yeah.
And I think probably it's time that he goes and spends some time with his sunbed.
Do you think, yeah?
Don't you? I just think, game over.
He's not a
Goodbye,
modest
Robert.
man.
Anybody here want Kilroy Silk to carry on? No.
OK, so you won't be sorry about what happened
He should just
to
be
him.
covered in slime.
Yeah, well, of course he was, wasn't he? Yeah, perfect. You wouldn't like that to happen to you, would you?
No, no.
No. It might do. Question 70. Which superhero is missing from this picture? The answer is A, Batman. In September, Jason Hatch got into the grounds of Buckingham Palace and scaled a wall. Tourists watched as he unfurled a banner which read, "Super dads of Fathers for Justice, fighting for your kids do your right to your kids. And after more than 5.5 hours standing on the ledge, 25 foot above the ground, hatch came down. It was another bad day for palace security. And that, ladies and gentlemen, everyone at home, is all the answers for Test the Nation's 2004 test. Give yourself a big round of applause. And we'll give you a look-up table in a minute. Philip.
So, as we've said, thousands of people have taken part across the country. From those who've taken the test online, we can now tell you a bit about the whole nation. Here are the results. Well, let's start, first of all, with our nations. Now, England won in 2003, so let's have a look and see what's happening this year. I don't think this has ever happened before. 39 for England, 39 for Wales, and Northern Ireland, and Scotland. So everybody got 39. Well, let's see if we can split it up a little bit more and now look at the capital cities of those nations. At the bottom, we've got Cardiff with 38, and then London with 39, followed by Edinburgh with 39 and 39 for Belfast. So just one point out there for Cardiff. What about the cities? Sheffield were top in 2003. Where are they this year? And we can see that Newcastle have got 38, Southampton with 38, then Plymouth, then Sheffield with 39. As I said, that they were top. Norwich, Swansea, Manchester, Londonderry. This is Leicester, Liverpool. All this is all very equal and satisfying for everyone. 39. Oh, yeah. Yes. At the top. Oh, 40 for Brighton. Well done, Brighton. And right at the top, we've Aberdeen. So Aberdeen and Brighton on 40. So very, very solid figures across the board there. We asked you what makes a genius. Now, we asked a whole load of questions, we've compiled them all together. This is the profile of the person who should win this evening. They should, first of all, have a shoe size between 11 and 12. So quite large feet. They should be a night owl, not necessarily a person who gets up first thing in the morning. They should be married, and they should also be reading. That's, well, that sort of stands for reason, really. If you're well-read, you're married, you're a night owl, and you've got big feet, then there you are. We'll find out when Annie talks to the winner online in a moment. We'll find out whether or not they fit any of those categories. What about men or women? Now, here we go. This is an interesting one because on no Test the Nation at any time since we started this have the ladies won. It's always been the men. Tonight, we've got the men with 41 and the ladies with 37. It's an unbroken record for the gents. Annie.
They've got to be good at something. As usual, our resident expert, Superman Cooperman, has come up with a way of matching your scores to the whole country. So find your score and see how Cooperman rates you. For example, if you've got between 40 and 45, it's a good effort. It's actually national average. On the other hand, if you've got between 59 and 70, that's terrific. It's excellence. It's in the top 1%. So now I'm hoping we have on the line the highest scorer. We got someone there?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Congratulations. What's your name?
My name's Charlie Davis.
Well done. Now, how old are you?
I'm 28.
And how well did you do?
Got 67 out of 70.
So that's excellent. Did you play on your mobile?
Yeah, I played on my mobile.
What question foxed you? What couldn't you do?
There was one about Ronald Reagan, the great communicator.
Yeah, and another one?
The other one, I think the correct answer was Peter Ustinov.
OK.
And
the final one you didn't get?
Yeah, no, didn't get. They were the three that we didn't get.
OK, well done. What do you do for a living?
I'm a trainee accountant.
Oh! Well, what can we say about that? And where are you from?
I'm from Catford in Lewisham.
Well, congratulations. I hope your mum's very proud.
Yes,
now,
she will be.
She will indeed. She's got a clever boy in Charlie. Your prize, as promised, we're sending you the shepherd's hamper. Well done. You're not a vegetarian, are you?
No.
OK. And we'd also like to thank the Shepherds because they wouldn't let the BBC pay for the hamper. They've absolutely insisted the money goes to children in need. Thank you, Shepherds.
Final look now at our studio leaderboard. Let's have a look now. We can see that this is the final picture. The waitresses with 40 out of 70 at the bottom. That's their average. Same as the fashion students. Above them, we've got the market traders on 41. Then we've got the insurance brokers on 46. Big jump there. Then we have the Shepherds on 48. Above them, the referees on 48. Where are the celebs? 50 for the celebs. So the celebrities are triumphant this evening. Now we've got to find out where is the person in here with the highest score. So, is that person over here in the market traders, the person with the highest score? Do you think they're here? No, they're not, as a matter of fact. What about the waitresses? Yeah, don't be daft. Insurance brokers? No. Fashion students? No. So, the winning person is either in the Shepherds or in the referees. Now then, sadly, it's not Neil. I think you're Threadgold. Neil Threadgold? Whereabouts are you? He's up the top there. Do you know, Neil, you got 24 right in a row, which is pretty good, but unfortunately, you're not the winner. You didn't win. Because the winner is in the referees. The winner is Chris Harrison. Yes! Is that you, Chris? Stand up, mate. There is your trophy. Well done. You got 63 out of 70. 63 out of 70. So what do you referee?
Rowing. I'm a rowing umpire.
You're a rowing referee.
Umpire.
An umpire, right, of course.
Umpire, yes.
Well, you probably... Would you know this bloke down here?
Not personally, no.
No?
By his achievements.
So, what, have you got big feet? Are you married?
Average feet, not married.
No?
No.
So you don't fit the profile at all?
Not at all.
Early bird or night owl?
Bit of both.
Oh, OK, so,
Absolutely.
you know, you've broken the mould here.
Absolutely.
Round of applause for the guy. He's well done. Very, very good. In actual fact, the top 4 scores were all in the referees. Ali.
Yeah, well, actually, the celebs, to be fair, have done very well. We're not going to embarrass them by giving you all the scores, but I can tell you, in joint second place, with a score of 55, is Anthony Worrell-Thompson and James Cracknell. The winner in the celebs is, I'm so pleased about this, because it's a girl. The winner with 56 points, congratulations to Angela Rippon.
Congratulations.
Angela, are you surprised by that?
Yes, frankly. How nice. Oh, yes, what a nice thing to... Yes.
Do you think you're just used to hearing the news, all those years of reading the news? And...
Yeah, I think I've probably just got one of those sort of brains that's a bit like felt. Things stick to it.
Well done, Angela.
Congratulations. Very, very brilliant. Thank you.
Now, the tests and answers will stay online for the next few weeks, so if you want to have another go or tell someone else to have a go, it's all on our website. Thank you to our studio groups. You've been fantastic. The fashion students. And, of course, our celebs and experts.
I hope the evening has brought back some good memories of 2004 for everyone. We've had a ball here reviewing the year with you. Thank you.
I think everyone here in the studio agrees that it has been a terrific evening.
With another test to rattle the brain cells, but for now, thank you for watching, thank you for taking part. Good night and a very, Merry Christmas.
Bye now.